Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of this Nirvanic Journey where we are aligning our health with our enlightenment, okay? All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I'm going to discuss with you some things about cancer that you might not know. I'm going to explain what happens to cells within our body that can make them malignant or cancerous. I'm going to tell you what cancer needs to survive, and then I'm going to tell you what you can cut out or add to your daily life to starve cancer cells and also just to promote overall good health. So even if you don't know anyone with cancer, if you are not looking for your own cancer information, this information is good for everyone, okay, for overall good health and for your children, okay? All right, so stick with me to the end, and then if you like it, hit the like button and subscribe so you can get more good content like this, okay? Remember, I am not giving out medical advice. I have to say that because some people will be like, well, she told me to do this. I'm never going to tell you what you have to do or should do. I'm going to tell you my opinions, and then I'm also going to hopefully, guide you in a safer direction for you and your family, and but always check with your doctor first. Point being, always check with your doctor, okay? I am not a doctor, and I'm not trying to pretend to be one. I'm giving you information that I have researched for 20 plus years, okay? So, and I'm gonna write a book, but anyway, so that's coming. All right, so now that being said, I know several people that have had stage 4 cancer and been completely healed from it, okay? I met one man in person and got to shake his hand and talk to him and hear his testimony. Amazing, okay, guys? It is possible. It is possible, okay? When it's your time, when your number's up or whatever like that, I get that, and I know, and if you believe that, that's fine too. But I'm just telling you that if you still have a purpose that you have not fulfilled in this life, rather than having to come back and do it the next time, let's go ahead and get it done here, and you can take care of yourself in this life, okay? All right, so here we go. Let's get started. Every single person, let's start out with just our cellular makeup. Every single person is made up of trillions of cells. Scientists can guesstimate that we have around 30 trillion cells in the human body, okay? We do not all contain cancer cells per se. You might have heard that everybody contains cancer cells. Not true. Everybody contains cells that can turn into mutations or cancerous cells, okay? They can turn cancerous depending on the input that they receive, okay? All right, now with that being said, our bodies have an amazing way of keeping itself alive. Everyone's heard of the immune system. We know that certain things like vitamin C and things like that keep our immune system nice and healthy, okay? So like when our body experiences a virus or a bacteria or something like that, it will create white blood cells or leukocytes to kill that bacteria. A virus is going to be a totally different immune response, but viruses are usually much more, huge. It's called a viral storm that your body creates, okay? Because viruses are very quiet and they go inside your cells and duplicate and all this kind of stuff, and they're not living per se. So you don't realize it until your cell, is burst open, and then all those viral cells come out, and they've been, producing inside of your cells. So that's why we get so sick from viruses: vomiting, diarrhea, high fevers, and things like that, okay? What's going on in the world right now, okay? That's that type of response, okay? All right, so we want to avoid that, okay, at all costs, and we want to have a good, healthy immune system. Okay, that is your immune response. That's your normal body's immune response, okay? Then there's a situation where the body develops an autoimmune disorder, such as in type 1 diabetes, where the body targets cells of one organ, which in the case of diabetes are the beta cells, okay? So those are the insulin-producing cells of the pancreas. So people, when they eat sugar, their body says, okay, we need insulin, and it shoots out insulin, okay? So that is a autoimmune disorder because your body thinks of those beta cells as being an enemy, okay? Then there's also a type of immune response that creates an overall inflammatory disorder and can affect several organs, not just one. In the case of type 1 diabetes, that's an autoimmune response to one organ. But when you have overall autoimmune disorder, then you create illnesses such as lupus or fibromyalgia, things like that. The reason I'm telling you this is because that is immune response gone bad. Okay, so that's cellular response to your body's pathology gone bad. So your body thinks of itself as the enemy and it attacks itself, okay? Honestly, I believe we have control over this as well, but eventually when we are ascending into a better state of mind and all this kind of stuff, okay? So that's another video. All right, so now that you feel more knowledgeable maybe about your immune system and how it reacts and how there's different stages of immune response in your body, let's talk about cell proliferation, or the pathological issue known as unregulated proliferation of cells, okay? Our bodies regenerate our cells, okay? That's vitamin C is really good for helping your cellular regeneration, helping keep you younger looking and things like that. But an unregulated proliferation, okay, causes cells to grow, divide, and multiply out of control, which then typically will become a tumor, okay? And you'll have a lump in your body somewhere, okay? It could be in your lymph system, it could be in your breast tissue, it could be any number of places in your body, or pretty much anywhere, okay? And that's a tumor. A tumor is called benign when it just stays confined to that one area that it creates itself in, okay? When a tumor goes out of control and you can have a tumor in your breast that'll stay there for years. It'll be called a cyst or whatever, and they'll sometimes do a needle biopsy or something to make sure that it's not cancerous. And sometimes they'll do a lumpectomy to make sure that they take that completely out, okay? It becomes malignant, okay? Benign is what most people like to hear. Oh, it's a benign tumor. That means it's not cancerous. It's cancerous or malignant when it breaches or invades surrounding tissue, as well as can spread throughout the entire body, which is considered a metastatic tissue disorder or cellular disorder, which is where that can just travel all over your body and get in places where it becomes inoperable, okay? So in your brain, sometimes if you have that tumor developing in your brain, well, your brain tissue is very fragile, okay? And you've got your hypothalamus, you've got your amygdala, you've got all these things in your brain that are very sensitive organs, okay? And if you've got a tumor growing out of control, they'll call that sometimes inoperable, a doctor will. And they'll recommend sometimes radiation or chemotherapy, things like that. Now, please understand that not every tumor will become malignant, okay? So don't worry about that. You have a tumor that you've had for years, it doesn't mean it's gonna become malignant, okay? If you feel better, getting it out or doing a lumpectomy or whatever like that, then you talk to your doctor about that. They'll know what's best about all that. Now that we know the different types of issues that can arise within our bodies, let's talk about what can mutate our genes and cause our cells to divide out of control in the first place. I'm of the belief that knowledge is power, and if I can arm you with information, then maybe it won't, the C word, okay, won't seem so overwhelming, and you could potentially avoid the C word altogether, okay? Because we know that fear, anguish, terror, sadness, depression, all of this is very low vibrational. We don't want to stay in a low vibrational state. That can keep us sick. That can damage our immune system, okay, which is not what we want to do. So that's why I don't watch the news and, and everything. I get the updates I need right on my Google, or whatever, but I don't just sit there and just watch the news every day, all day. That's depressing, okay? It's all negative. It's going to bring that vibration way down, and that, to me, that's the goal, okay, of the general media, okay? All right, so basically, let's go over what type of environment cancer needs to survive and grow and thrive, okay? Here's a list of what cancer loves, okay? We don't want to have what cancer loves. We want cancer to hate our body, okay? Basically, cancer loves an acidic environment, or one with low pH levels, okay? All right, and then so our body has a miraculous way of getting itself back in order, okay? So it is working 100% around the clock. We've got what's called negative feedback loops, okay? We have negative and positive feedback loops. Negative feedback loops is kind of like an AC thermometer. So like you'll have the little dial in your house with a little thermometer. You might have a digital one like I have. And so when it senses that your temperature, so you have it set, let's say 70 degrees. You have it set at 70 degrees. And if it senses that your room temperature is at 75 degrees, what's it going to do? It's going to cut the AC on, and then it's going to get it back down to 70. That is a negative feedback loop, okay? That is a great example of a negative feedback loop. So if our body senses that we have we have high sugar, let's say every time we drink a Coke, okay, our sugar goes up. Our body says, oh, we got to get our sugar down. So it's working. It's always bringing the sugar down, the sugar up. It's always doing these things, trying to keep us, if we get hot, it makes us sweat, because the air then hits the sweat and it cools us off. If we get cold, it makes us shiver, because the shivering creates, energy within our body that warms us up, okay? So that's called negative feedback, and it's amazing and it's miraculous, and I love it. Okay, so when you think of acid, okay, basically cancer loves acidic environment. When you think of acid, what do you think of? You think of probably like lemons, vinegar, limes, things like that. But this is only true outside the body. Once these things enter the body, they then they're actually alkalizing to our bodies, and that's where we want. The cancer doesn't like the alkaline environment. Okay, so. So lime, adding lime to your water, starting out your day with a big glass of lime water, that's really good, okay? Those who tend to be like couch potatoes, don't get good movement or exercise, that makes your body become a lot more hospitable to cell mutations in your DNA, especially if you're not eating healthy or if you're drinking alcohol on top of that. So let's say you go to work every day, you're stressed out, you come home, you get a beer, you go sit on the couch, you watch TV. That everything in your life at that point is damaging and potentially mutating your cells, okay? Because the work stress is not good. The how you're dealing with it isn't good. The sedentary lifestyle that you have isn't good. Okay, so all of that stuff just compounds upon each other, okay? So next, I wanted to mention that your mind is magnificently powerful, okay? What we think becomes our reality. Okay, if we think our life sucks and our kids are awful and we hate our job and we hate our car and we wish we didn't live in the house, my gosh, we create our own environments. We create our own happiness. Okay, so have a happy day is more like make yourself have a happy day, okay? Because it is up to you, okay? All right, let me move on from that. All right, your mind's powerful and it controls your body on a cellular level. You can control your cellular deterioration or building according to what you think and how you think, okay? Positive thinking, positive outcomes, okay? Your body has a specific environment, very specific pH that you have to live, okay? I think it's like 7.3 or 7.2, something like that, between 7.2 and 7.4. And I'm telling you, pH is enough to kill you. You get your pH a little too high, a little too low, and that's it. That's all she wrote, okay? So that's why your body has the negative feedback loops to get that acidic environment fixed or that too alkaline environment to be fixed as well. Either one can be damaging, okay? So let's talk about how to fix our body's environment to make it not hospitable to cancer. And our body's always working to reach a state of homeostasis, okay? Our body is continually working around the clock to keep us even, okay? The less damaging things we do to our body, the less work it has to do and the more healing it can do. So while you're eating, if you're eating all day long, your body's doing nothing but digesting food. But if you can, I'm sorry, I'm shaking my desk with my knee, I apologize. But so if you can cut back on your eating just a little bit, then you give your body rest. That's why intermittent fasting is so good, because you can give your body time to actually heal, not just digest food, okay? And then sometimes if you want to go on like a juice cleanse or something like that, it really gives your body a nice rest. That's just healing time for your body, not having to churn up red meat and all this kind of stuff. And that's just really hard work for your body, okay? All right, so I'm going to go over some things that we can implement. Okay, number one, I definitely want to say first and foremost is changing your mind, getting your mind right, okay? Whether that means you need to go get some therapy, it's okay to get therapy. Most insurances cover behavioral health now, and nothing wrong with having somebody that's non-biased to go talk to. Get those mental things healed and out of there. Don't worry about it. Don't stress over things like that. It had nothing to do with you. Whatever happened to you as a child, however someone took advantage of you, a bad relationship, a long, horrible marriage, a narcissistic, whatever the case is, okay? It wasn't about you, okay? It was about the other person. You have to forgive. You have to have love and forgiveness, and you have to just keep yourself balanced, okay? It's vital that you have good mental health, okay? Number two, the substances we use to clean our house, okay? Like bleach and things like that. You know, sometimes there are substances you need to use. Be careful, wear gloves, make sure that you're not inhaling it, open your windows, things like that, okay? Makeup, watch what you're putting on your face, watch what you're, the chemicals that are in the foods you eat, stuff like that. Number three, their first suggestion is to keep your body mass index level within normal range. That's keep the chances of obesity down, okay? Your body mass index, or BMI, okay, takes your height and divides it by your weight, okay? So it is accurate. It gives you a range. 21 to 23 is where you want to stay, okay, in that neighborhood. You need to keep it in normal range, okay? Obesity, people with obesity are a lot higher risk for cancer. Now, the best way to get your BMI down is by making sure you're taking in fewer calories than you're able to burn in a day, okay? A good tip given by healthywomen.org is to never eat in front of the television, okay? Make television something you earn because you eat healthy food in your kitchen, okay? Don't eat in front of the television, because then you'll keep eating. You're not thinking about the food you're eating. You're not thinking about your stomach. You're thinking about the TV, okay? Also, it's recommended to give yourself a day a week to eat something you don't normally eat, so like a cheat day. So, but then also give yourself a challenge and say, well, if I don't accomplish my exercise goals, I'm not gonna have my cheat day, okay? So you'll have to skip your cheat day. So that'll help you. I like to challenge myself and give myself rewards. If I do good and I exercise 3 to 5 times a week like I like to, then I can have something. People think that children can consume junk food and be just fine, or I may not have mentioned that actually. It was at the bottom of one of my paragraphs. But I wanted to let you guys know what the CDC said about the American rate of obesity for children in 2018. Now, these are children between the ages of 2 to 19. The rate of obesity in children 2 to 19 was 18.5% of the population of children. That means almost 20% of children, 1/5 of our children population, is considered obese, which is higher than a 23% BMI, okay? That means that as a child, they're not only going to be probably teased, okay, and things like that, but they're also going to have to struggle with unhealthy lifestyle choice. They're going to be stuck and addicted to things that, maybe fast food or whatever it is as adults, and they're going to have to struggle with that. And then they're also going to struggle with whatever junk they were eating, lots of sodas. Potentially they'll struggle with diabetes, with rheumatoid arthritis, with autoimmune disorders caused by eating crap, okay? Number 4, make sure you're getting plenty of physical activity as part of your everyday life. I find when I exercise, I eat healthier. I don't want to mess up what I've done to exercise, okay? The article from the World Cancer Research Federation suggests getting 30 minutes every day of walking, but work up to 30 minutes a day of walking. And then if you have a baby, maybe bring your stroller, ride a bike or a stationary bike, even in front of the TV at home. However you have to do it, whatever feels best to you, okay? Like if you have a gym membership, I wrote on here, oh my gosh, I hate the stair machine. That thing kicks my butt. It really does. I feel like I'm going to die when I'm on that thing. But anyway, remember, it only takes 21 days to start a new habit. And if you are walking every day, you will start to crave exercise. You'll look forward to it. And if it's raining, go to the gym or do a stationary bike inside your house, or the DB, or whatever, whatever you have inside your house to do, okay? Number 5, limit food and drinks which sabotage your goals and promote weight gain, and avoid sugary drinks altogether. That is the quickest way to up your daily caloric intake, okay, is to drink sodas. Let's say you're trying to eat no more than a 1,500 calorie a day diet because you want to lose weight, and that's where you know that your exercise level, that's how much you're able to burn. And you drink a 20-ounce sweetened soda. There are 240 calories in that, so that is literally 16% of your daily caloric intake. Okay, that means you're not going to get a lot of food to go with that, okay? A quarter pounder is 417 calories, or a whopping 28% of your daily allowance, okay? Then you're not getting all the vitamin-rich, nutrient-rich foods that you need to get, okay? By the way, did you know that sometimes you feel hungry when you are really thirsty? Go get you a big glass of water. Put some lime in there or some lemon. Make it healthier, make it more alkaline inside your body. Also, make sure you are avoiding not just sodas, which are loaded with sugar, but fruit juice, even 100% fruit juice. That's pure sugar to your body. Your body has the same response to sodas. Well, the same insulin response to sodas as it does to fruit juice, okay? Because they're both loaded with sugar. Number 6, they suggest eating foods mostly of plant origin. They recommend eating 5 servings of non-starchy, brightly colored vegetables per day. Starchy vegetables are those you know as potatoes, corn, peas, things like that have a high carb content that's going to raise your sugar. And also it has a lot more calories in it. So 1 cup of green beans has 31 calories as opposed to 1 cup of mashed potatoes, which has has 214 because the potatoes are more starchy. I'm not saying don't eat potatoes, just eat them and, eat them as your carb group and eat them less. Try to limit your daily carb intake to 30 if you can. That seems to be a good number for me. Okay. Let's see. Insulin, oh, by the way, the more insulin your body has to produce, the more weight you gain. Insulin is the reason we gain weight, okay? So Google that if you don't know about that, okay? Or I can do a video on that. Make sure that you're getting a nice amount of vegetables, such as have a salad a day with olives, avocados, tomatoes, cucumbers. Avocados and olives are so good for you. They have good natural fats in them that are good for your brain. Buy vegetables such as celery, carrots, onions, if you like those raw. Get them washed, cut, and ready to eat in your fridge. Do not depend on yourself to look in the fridge and go, oh, I need to wash, cut that. You're not going to do it. It's going to go bad in your fridge, okay? So make sure that when you buy vegetables, you go ahead and get them washed, peeled, cut in Ziploc bags or in little bowls, ready to go. So that way you don't have to sit there and worry about doing all that, okay? Just they'll be ready for you to eat and you'll go, I want a snack. Oh, look, those are ready to eat, okay? Adding a couple tablespoons also of apple cider vinegar a day into your diet. I'm going to put a recipe in the description box below at the drink that I drink every day that has, turmeric and stuff like that, and it's really good for you. So add that into your diet. It's very good for your gut. It's going to help your overall health as well. Number 7, now we're talking about cancer, of course, remember. Number 7, we also need to limit the intake of red meat and processed meat, such as prepared lunch meat, smoked, cured, salted meats. Honestly, they're hard for your body to digest, and the harder your body has to work to burn and churn, the less your body is healing, like I said earlier, okay? Number 8, now this tip and studies on this are expansive, so I took this info directly from the CDC website, who recommends lowering your overall alcohol consumption, okay, or cutting it out altogether because of the toxic effects that it causes on the body. My nose is itching so bad, I don't know why. This is something you might want to save for your cheat day or give your body and liver time to heal between, like maybe only have it on Saturdays or something like that. But I wouldn't even recommend having alcohol every single day because your liver doesn't have time to completely heal from that, okay? And you're gonna end up with scarring on your liver, and you could end up with fatty liver disease, okay? All right, so 1 serving of alcohol, let me tell you what that's considered. That's 1.5 ounces of liquor or distilled spirits. Remember, if you drink mixed drinks, you'll also be dealing with the mixers, which are usually very high in sugar. So 1.5 ounces of liquor or distilled spirits, 12 ounces of beer with a 5% alcohol content, 8 ounces of malt liquor with a 7% alcohol content, or 5 ounces of wine. That's a serving of alcohol. So they say men can have 2 a day and women can have 1, but I'm like, I think that's only because those doctors that came up with that really wanted to have it every day, and they were trying to find a way that they could put that in their diet, okay? I don't know. I'm not saying I don't enjoy a drink every now and then. Sometimes I just want to giggle and laugh for no damn reason. So anyway, all right, number 9. Now, the last couple suggestions from the study were to cut back on high salt consumption, and my recommendation would be that when you use salt, try to use Himalayan sea salt because that does not promote swelling in your tissues, which can raise your blood pressure, okay? Also, try to eat, okay, this is one last tip and then I'm done. Try to plan your diet around the vitamins that you're trying to get into your diet every day. So if you're trying to get your ample amount of vitamin C, if you're trying to get, all the good vitamins, the B vitamins and stuff like that, try to plan your diet. Then you're going to end up eating all kinds of greens and healthy stuff like that. And you'll find that you start craving that stuff. You'll find you really want that arugula, or you want that spinach, or you want that kale and stuff like that, because you're getting your vitamins and you're not having to take all these supplements. The supplements are expensive, so it ends up being better for you than taking supplements. Okay, I hope this helps y'all, and I know I talk fast. I was trying to cut the time down. I never do long videos like this, but watch it in sections if you need to, or suggest it to somebody and say, hey, it's 30 minutes, but watch it in sections, cut it into 3 different sections of 10 if you need to. But I love you guys so much. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'd like to grow my channel. I have a passion for helping people heal so that they can truly find their enlightenment. Okay, I want people to be healthy. Okay, so thank you so much. Love you. Much white light and peace to each and every one of you, and namaste.